Today is room tour day. We're going to go through pretty much everything. It's like going to be a mini, complete collection video, even though I'm not going to go through everything, but I'm going to show you what I got in here because some stuff is getting purged. We've got rid of several hundred VHS. We got a lot of stuff to go through, DVDs, Blu-rays, 4Ks. I'm not keeping everything, but what I am moving, we're going to open it up, repack, or unpack, and as we do that, we're going to change up this movie room, studio, whatever you want to call it. We're going to change it up. We're going to have a whole different style on the next move. As we go through, we got the VHS back here. We have some more VHS on the floor. I'm going to have to take this camera off and show it to you separate, but I'm not too great with the holding the camera, keeping it steady, and the microphone, and figuring it all out. But I'm going to try my best. So just like a quick 360 room tour, we have the VHS over here. That's the entrance. On the door, we have Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. Love that movie poster. And then over here, we have the Friday the 13th Shout Factory, Scream Factory limited edition collected poster that I had framed. A bunch of autographs. We have some Fright Night, Linnea Quigley. We have Black Creature from the Black Lagoon, and with that it was Rico Browning. Rico Browning was the diver in the suit. They had two different people playing the creature, and Rico Browning, I have one of his autographs there, and I have the other one up there. One of my all-time favorite monster movies. We have Tim Curry's autograph over here. Legend, one of my all-time favorite movies. Easily a huge Tim Curry fan, and that's one of my prized possessions there. Here is the VHS that I carry, pretty much doubles of everything. So I either already have it on Blu-ray or 4K. So as we go through stuff like The Burbs, Vacation, The Shadow, Deep Blue Sea, Money Train. These are just, everything that I had something else. I had, a different version of this on another format. It all went in here. So I have different movies. Over here on the VHS wall, I don't have any of these movies on another format. So as we go through, just like a mini, update of what I have. So we have The Witches of Eastwick. Nothing's in order because I took everything down and I was starting to pack it up, but then I was like, people want to see what the room looks like. So we have a lot of this stuff here. And again, nothing's in alphabetical order, but it used to be. And a lot of this stuff came out of storage as well. I used to have just DVDs and a few VHS on this shelf, but all the DVDs are packed away already in totes. And I've got a video talking about that as well. So we have a lot of this stuff here. Again, I don't have it. I haven't seen all of it, but I don't have it on another format. So these are definitely staying in the collection, and I might upgrade stuff like Days of Thunder there. I think I need to grab that on Blu-ray, or I don't even know if there's a 4K available, but something I need to grab. This movie right here, Tilt, I talk about it all the time. One of my favorites, but it's something that I think it's stuck with music rights issues, but it's something that an oddball one, and I had to have this case made. I found some guy on Etsy that was making these cases because I didn't have one. It's just a single VHS tape. I found it at the thrift store years ago. There's some hidden gems in here, and I'll go over my VHS collection when we get all settled and moved, because that'll be everything that I've kept and stuff I didn't purge away. So as we go through here, and then down here at the bottom, these are tilted this way because these were actually the McDonald's VHS tapes. So McDonald's put out VHS tapes. You can get a meal and then a movie for $5 if you bought a meal. And let's see. And with these, the McDonald's logo is right there on the back. And then with some of them, they would come with stickers. They kind of cheapened out later on. And they put the sticker on, and then some people would take the sticker and just stick it right there in that spot. But it doesn't have a barcode, and so that's that. And that's why I believe this Field of Dreams that I found was one of those McDonald's ones. They did put out a Field of Dreams, but it doesn't have the barcode on the back. So I'm just assuming it's the actual McDonald's release, but I'm not sure. I'm trying to collect all of them, and I do have Charlotte's Web. I kind of never liked this movie as a kid, but the fact that it's a McDonald's issue, trying to collect all of them, it was kind of a no-brainer for me. Have some of the bigger sets down there. Things that don't get watched all that often. Let's see. Look Who's Talking. That's a VHS that I'm pretty sure has a Blu-ray, and I should upgrade that as soon as possible. One of my favorites. And then this one, I talk about it all the time. But Suburban Commando is something that I would love for it to get a Blu-ray sometime soon. So then as we go through here, this is where I keep my other prized possessions. I have Carrie Fisher's autograph. And this one is the only one that I don't have verified, but I bought it when she was still alive, and it was done on the autograph circuit. So pretty sure it's legit, but if it's not, it's still one of my most prized possessions. We have some vintage video store memorabilia there, the standee, double-sided. All my Star Wars stuff. Let's see, I have the bootlegs there, the red label stuff. So as we go through, this is my Olive Films shelf. And so I start already, I think I have like 86 of these now, in or around that number. It's definitely in the 80s. Last time I counted, I just don't recall. And as I'm going through, I do have some hidden gems here. Stuff I would recommend. Fled is an easy one. We have Fatal Beauty. That's another hidden gem that most people slept on. But this one here, How to Beat the High Cost of Living. Fantastic film. And it's something that the movie poster always got me. I do think I have this on CED, but this is just something from the 70s. And I think it's just a fantastic, fun film. High recommend. Another one here, How to Murder Your Wife with Jack Lemmon. This is just a fantastic film as well. He's a bachelor. He's living the bachelor life. He gets married over one drunken night, and his life gets turned upside down. Both mannequin films are always a great recommendation. Down here we have Ski School, just fantastic. She Devils, another high recommend. Super fun one. Actually, there's two She Devils. I haven't seen this one. So I have not seen this one. But this one is actually super fun. Yellowbeard is another one. I highly recommend it. And Zapped. Can't go wrong with this one. Well, these were the Olive signature stuff, so I'm also trying to get these as well. And I already have Operation Petticoat and Father Goose in the regular standard version. They did put out these higher end ones. They include limited edition packaging, but they include some commentary stuff that was never available on the standard issues. And over here I have a lot of my Scream Factory stuff. I stuck Abigail here because it's the only one I have of this label here. But this is a German release. Absolutely love that. There's no big ugly banner. Then in the Scream Factory section here, we have a lot of hidden gems, things I love, things that don't really get talked about a lot. Specifically, Death Becomes Her, one of my favorites here. I talk about it often. I did a review on this, I think. Awesome 4K. Love this movie. High recommend. Then we have some stuff over here. Poison Ivy, Piranha movie. Oh, I love the Piranha franchise. And this is another one that just Huge standout, summertime classic. It's something I have to watch all the time. Well, maybe not classic, summertime staple for me, for sure. Return of the Living Dead, one of my favorites. And this one here, this is something that never gets really brought up. I talk about it often, but Saturday the 14th, just a fun family horror movie, kid friendly, and just something I just remember watching when I was younger, and I love this film. Can't go wrong with either of the Teen Wolf movies, but just another classic, something I watch often. And then down here, I have my Kino Lorber stuff, and there's a lot of Burt Reynolds movies in here that I love. Amazon Women from let's see, Amazon Women on the Moon. That's another Joe Dante outing. Great cast, super fun. There's a few in here that I love. Let's see, Bird on a Wire is something I watch all the time. Mel Gibson, Goldie Hawn. I don't think you go wrong with that. Comedy of Terrors. I can't recommend this one enough. Great cast: Vincent Price, Peter Lorre, Boris Karloff. Just a classic horror comedy. Super fun. Oh, yeah, I know I've got some hidden gems in here. The Experts is a classic from the 80s, maybe early 90s, but this takes place, it takes place in Russia, but they get sent over there thinking they're in small town USA, like in the middle of the country, and yeah, everybody's stuck in the 50s, but it's actually a secret Russian base where everyone is living in the 50s and they're pretending to be an American society, and they're brought in to kind of modernize it and hip it up, and they have no idea they're in Russia. So that's a fun one. Let's see. This time of year, Rawhead Rex is a great watch. And this is something that, I do love a lot of these, but this one here is another one from my childhood, a Saturday afternoon movie. It's My Science Project. High recommend, super fun. Guy finds some old tech that was buried by the military, and he uses it as a science project because he's not that great at science, and it's just I love it. Let's see. I actually only have this one here, Madam X, because the movie, the I don't know if the entire like inside of it, but the outside of the movie takes place at the mansion that became the Playboy Mansion. But this movie is older than when Hugh Hefner bought that mansion. So that's just yeah, nice little piece of history. I do collect Playboy stuff, so I always liked that one. Not a phenomenal movie, but I like the history on it. Here's one that another one from my childhood. High recommend. James Belushi, Michael Caine, Mr. Destiny. You can't go wrong with this one. It's about a boy who messes up when he's at a baseball game and he loses, and he kind of regrets that his entire life. He marries and he just kind of wishes he had more. And what if he ever hit that baseball and he gets that wish? And I like that movie. Yeah, there's just some classic stuff here that I talk about all the time. Um, we have some random anime stuff that I don't know what to do with. I haven't watched it yet, but everyone's always telling me I got to check out some anime, and I do take recommendations, but it is finding the time to watch all this stuff. I can't always watch everything. And then these are Japanese DVD/Blu-rays. So I got these a long time ago, but this one's The Crow. This one actually is a DVD. I'll have to show those off sometime. This one is a Blu-ray and a DVD, and it's the Evil Dead remake, and but it's in a DVD size. So I don't know what it is about these Japanese versions, but I think they're kind of cool. And down here we have the Warner Archive section. Again, some hidden gems in this section. I love all these movies, but there's some classic ones, but some of the hidden gems I would always recommend would be Corvette Summer with Annie Potts and Mark Hamill. That's just an all-time classic for me. Another summertime staple. Let's see, Ice Pirates is another one. High recommend. One of my all-time favorites. I know it's not for everybody, but Ah, I just love this movie. Lady Hawk, classic movie. Money Talks is another one. Chris Tucker, Charlie Sheen. Glad to have this on Blu-ray. This one was hard to get. I think like they sold out real early on that one, and then they came back in stock. Another one I recommend here, One Crazy Summer. Another summertime staple for me. And this one here, this is an older film, but I absolutely love it. So it is Penelope starring Natalie Wood. And I'm trying to collect all the Natalie Wood films, but look at that movie poster. You know, from the 60s, that is phenomenal. At no point is she standing there in a bikini like that in the movie, but I love the movie poster. Another one here that's a hidden gem. Quick Change with Bill Murray, Gina Davis, Randy Quaid. This is just a great heist movie. Then over here, I have my Twilight films. You know, some classic ones have been re-released on other labels. But Heads in a Duffel Bag. I don't think this ever got released anywhere else but Twilight Time on Blu-ray. And then Blue Lagoon. This is one that it's very expensive to get this version, but the UK put out a Blu-ray as well. And that one I thought was kind of pricey too, but not the $100 price tag that fetches. Again, Fright Night. I've had this before the 4K came out, and for a while this was sitting at the $100 price range too, but I've just held on to it. I never picked up the 4K. Maybe I should, but I hate the steelbook only option. So I'm keeping my Blu-ray for now. And it's a great summer or it's a great October spooky season watch for sure. And then moving down to this section here, I have some more Twilight Time there, but I have these Shout Select movies, and because they're numbered, but I'm not really getting every single one of them. I don't know. I think I'm just going to mix these up and put them in with the regular standard studio releases. I think they might get watched a little more often, but it has been easy to make videos by having it all clumped together. But in some of these, I would recommend for sure would be Mr. Mom here. All-time classic. Just picked up Home for the Holidays. So that's a great Thanksgiving movie. Absolutely love this one. Let's see. Dr. Detroit is another one that I would highly recommend. It's a screwball comedy, and I absolutely love it. Cuffs is another one I would recommend. Christian Slater, Mila Jovovich. Oh man, Mila Jovovich in her prime. I mean, now great, but in this movie, phenomenal. This is something that has been remade a million times, and there's even a silent film, Brewster's Millions. But this remake in the 80s, it's one of my all-time favorites. I nostalgia on it. I've watched it since I was a kid. I love revisiting this one. Another summertime watch for me. And I don't know if it's a guilty pleasure, but for some reason, I think this movie is absolutely fantastic. It doesn't get a lot of love, but All About the Benjamins, I think is super fun. Then I have some stuff over here that I just had no real place for it. We have some Filmmaster stuff. We have Fun City Editions, a couple of stuff over there. And then the Paramount Select. And then this is a label that nobody ever talks about, and it is, let's see, Code Red. So it's Code Red, and this is something that, there's some foreign films, sexploitation stuff, but then there's like this movie, Chomps. It's about a robot dog. It's a family movie, and it's one of those Code Red things. So I have a few of them, but it's a label that almost never gets talked about. Then over here, I have some random movies, MVD collection here. Some of my favorites, and one of my all-time underrated films that never gets talked about, I think, is this one, Out of Time with Denzel Washington. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and it's something that I love to watch in the summertime. Jack Frost is another one. This is a newer one to me. I just started watching it, and I love watching this at Christmas. A fun Christmas horror. And Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, Swamp Thing. But this is one that I would recommend to anybody. Men at Work. Just a fantastic movie from the 80s. Then over here I have some random VHS tapes, some stuff that I have doubles of that I have to weed through and send to the purge pile. Then I have my PSP movies. So I have Super Troopers, Tomcats, and Dukes of Hazzard. And down here, some more VHS. Again, I don't know if I'm keeping all of it, but that right there is every single season of the Ninja Turtles that I grew up watching as a kid. And that was just, for me, a perfect watch for the afternoons after school. Then we come around here, and then I have King Kong on the floor. I'm a big fan of gorillas and octopus. Like, I don't know why. I'm not really into animals, but I'm just super into those guys for whatever reason. And then this got all boxed up. I think this was limited to just a few thousand. But it's Mary Jane. J. Scott Campbell, the comic book artist, drew this, and then they turned it into a statue. For a long time, I was really big into statue collecting, but very quickly, things that started getting crazy expensive, and I had to put the brakes on that. But this is something that I want to say, yeah, there was only ever 6,000 of these. And so I have a high number, 3,856. But it's a very limited edition, all sold out. Something I absolutely love. WALL-E is one of my favorite Disney movies, so I have that. Down here that nobody ever gets to see is just random stuff. I have a bunch of Scream DVDs, VHS, special edition stuff, some steel books, and I Spit on Your Grave collection, which I had to import. It's a, I wouldn't say fantastic, but it's a, as far as the revenge movies go, top notch. And then this starts my Leon the Professional collection. I have trying to collect every single version around the world, and I have some really cool stuff that you just can't find in a store. You have to get it on eBay. This is one of my prized possessions here, this DVD from Japan. Super awesome. I love the packaging on it. It's just something that, we never got anything like this really over here. So I love it. And then this was something that one of the steel books had this for a little while. I like it. I think the art is great on it, but it's something that they did a whole line of this, the pop art there, and pretty much every movie had something very similar in the art style. And just, I've shown off this collection before, but yeah, trying to get them all. And then got Master of the Universe. I got the Betamax tape. I have Orko from when I was a kid. I mean, that's the remake, but I remember having that toy as a kid. And then Sorceress statue. Huge fan of that. We have Mike Tyson's autograph. And then over here we have the Nakatomi Tower from Die Hard. And then inside there actually holds all of the Die Hard movies. So that was just something that, oh man, I felt lucky to get that. Some Star Wars stuff. We got Jabba the Hutt. We got the helmet, some Rancor. This was a limited edition Disney Store exclusive. You could only get this if you had the Disney Store credit card. And so this Darth Vader statue, something I'll probably never part with. And this book, if you're a fan of Star Wars or anything, just flipping through that book and seeing what Ralph McQuarrie did, absolutely amazing. And then we have the Han Solo Tauntaun statue. Like I said, I did get big into statues for a while. We have Batman shelf with just some random Batman stuff. Poison Ivy statue. We have Harley Quinn. But then we have Superman. I had nothing to really put this on display, but I didn't want to get it damaged, so I threw it up here as well. So we have the Superman Steelbook box set there. But then over here we have the Turtles, the tapes, and then we have the actual action figures back there from NECA. Ghostbusters section. So this is the Ghost Trap box set, which again, I felt lucky to have this. And then we do have a light up firehouse. So this is another one of my favorite pieces, something that usually doesn't get shown on any of the live streams or anything, but I absolutely love this. And then this starts the Fifth Element collection. And so again, this is stuff I've shown off before, but as I do love it again. Ray Harryhausen, huge fan of those Ray Harryhausen old movies, but even the movie posters that were done in here from all around the world was just a fantastic watch. Then again, more statue stuff. But this was a Best Buy, I think, exclusive collector set. Comes with the DVDs and like a real crappy tin, but you get the dinosaurs, which was kind of cool. And then over here, let's see. I don't have a vinyl record player yet, but I need to get one, or a turntable. I'm starting to collect some vinyl. But over here, we have the Lord of the Rings limited edition leather-bound collection. I think I've showed this off. If not, I'll have like a whole video of this. But man, it's really cool. Each one is in its own leather-bound book. And this was something that was extremely expensive when it came out. And then I picked it up. It was on clearance through Best Buy. And it was still crazy expensive. At the time, I think it was the most I've ever spent on anything for physical media. But this book is just super cool. It has the discs. These are the extended editions. So these get watched maybe once a year in all the versions that we have. I never picked up the 4Ks because I think this set is just absolutely incredible. And even though I wouldn't part with it, I'd feel if I had the 4Ks, maybe I wouldn't need this anymore. So that's really cool. It comes with all kinds of map stuff and drawings from the movies. So this is stuff that, if you are a huge fan, it makes sense. But if you just kind of casually like the movies, I also get it. But this stuff here, once we get settled, I think I'm going to frame this up. I don't know, there's stuff on the back though. Maybe I won't. I don't know. It's cool to have. And then we have this journal. Comes with all kinds of cool drawings and stuff. So yeah, I love these big collector sets, and I get they're not for everybody, but you know, they are for fans. And then this is one of the main reasons, you know, I stopped collecting steelbooks. This one here, I spent days and days, you know, wanting this and like trying to get it. And then I spent an entire day tracking one down. And it looks great here on the video, but it is pretty smashed up. I tried to fix it as best I could, but steelbooks go. It got mangled pretty good. And then when you open this up, I think inside is another just a fantastic touch. But again, this is a movie I have multiple copies of many times over, but this is the coolest version of it. And then this is one of the vinyl records that I have out on display. I'm kind of a sucker for Sabrina Carpenter. I've never listened to it. I don't know what she sings, but I do love her. I don't know why. Kind of a sucker. Got some comic book stuff down there that never really, you know, I enjoy the comic book stuff, but I know most people don't want to talk about that over here. But we have the Back to the Future DeLoreans, my Imprint mug. I have some stuff over here, more Lord of the Rings. So as we go through, we got more Lord of the Rings right here. We got those original. These were, I remember selling these at Best Buy. And, or not Best Buy, Circuit City. I remember selling these at Circuit City. And I just always wanted one, but I never picked them up. And then I found these a few years back at a thrift store, all three of them for real cheap. So I had to grab them. And then I've had these. I don't remember what these came in. Obviously The Hobbit, but these like statues. I don't have the movie that it came with, but for some reason we still have those. Killer Clowns from Outer Space with the cotton candy gun. Absolutely love that. My Psycho shelf. And then this right here is a VHD. My good friend TJ sent this to me from Japan. Now, I had picked this one up, Return of the Jedi, but he sent me this one, Empire Strikes Back. And so that's just super, super cool. So they're both from Japan, and I just absolutely love it. And it was just a great gift. Great gift. But Return of the Jedi was something I just absolutely love it. Then we have Friday the 13th, The Fly, The Omen, Critters. This never gets really shown off, but this is the Nightmare on Elm Street shelf. We have some stuff. Now, I am still waiting on my Steelbook box set, but I don't know if I'm ever getting one. Down here, we have the Halloween shelf. Now, this is a really cool piece here. Now, this was limited to like 40,000, and it has orange tapes and the silhouette of Michael Myers. It's hard to see there because it's like brown on brown, but it is the silhouette of Michael Myers in this double stacked VHS set. And then I have number 9,528 of 40,000. And so it's just really interesting and cool that limited editions back then were, 40,000 was a limited edition. Now, like 1,500, 1,000, 600 is normal. I think both of these sets here, this Leon set, or this Fifth Element set here, and this Leon set from Mantelab were both limited to 600 copies. So that being 40,000 is just crazy. I have some my Imprint stuff here, and I love these big chunky box sets. Huge fan of Imprint. Obviously, I talk about it all the time. Got the Arrow Video chunky box sets here. Let's see. And then I do have some more stuff. Some of the stuff already got packed up. And then here is a close-up of the books that I have down here. I've got those Playboys at the end. Those are actual CD-ROMs, and they don't really work anymore. You have to have an older computer to make it work, but this is every single version from the 60s, cover to cover, so a whole decade of Playboy. But it's in this big giant set here, but all it was this, was the disc, and then it came with this giant awesome book, which is pretty thick, and it's got all the covers on it. But then I found this years ago, and they only ever put out these two, the 50s and the 60s, and then they did one giant hard drive with all of them, but that's extremely impossible to find. But I found this at a thrift store without the big case, so I would like to get the big case with the book and to complete it. And I do have an older computer, so I can access these, but it's something that it's not really necessary. But then, I got into, comic books pretty heavy. These 1, 2, and 6, all I have for these Ninja Turtle ones. And these classic re-release of the black and white Peter Laird. These are just super awesome. Yeah. Then moving on to this corner, we have Another Mike Tyson autograph. We have some stuff over here that I've shown off before. More statues, and this is an original Blockbuster magnet sign that was in the actual display. The plastic that it's sitting in was part of this giant display, and these could pop out. They put out something else, so I was lucky to have this. But man, more Blockbuster memorabilia would be really cool. Again, more Legend stuff. There's not enough memorabilia from Legend, but one of my all-time favorite fantasy films. Then over here we have just some great stuff on the wall. More autographs. We have Lee Waddell's autograph, Ghostface. We have Linda Blair from The Exorcist. And then up here, just some stuff that has really no place, if I want to keep it all together, or I can separate it, and I just haven't done that yet. We have some odds and ends. This ESC edition of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, Labyrinth 4K Steelbook, but then we also have Labyrinth box set. Now this is a cool box set. The movie's inside, and so it has this digibook. So it opens up, it has this digibook here. Same art, but it's just the Blu-ray. Absolutely love this box set here, but something you don't really see too many of those. Then I have my original monster movies there. All these Alex Ross steelbooks. I never upgraded to 4K, but I think these Blu-rays are perfect. And then my Criterion shelf. And again, I've got some hidden gems in here, like the Chasing Amy DVD. Now, that some of the stuff, we're getting Dogma, and some of the stuff that, never got released anymore because of the whole Weinstein debacle. Maybe Chasing Amy will get a Blu-ray or a 4K at some point. And then this right here, Some Like It Hot. I think this is just an all-time classic. One of my favorites. I just don't think you go wrong with that one. Then we have Breakfast Club, another one I don't think you go wrong with ever. Just, the epitome of the 80s. Then this one here, this is new to the collection, and so I got to watch a little bit of it, but I haven't finished Once Upon a Time in China. So this is something I'll be looking forward to finishing when we get to Colorado. And then down here, we have the rest of the Criterion stuff, and then it just moves into random things that I had no place for. So 101 films, I think I only had that one. This random House of a Thousand Corpses box set. It's pretty cool, but I've got no place for it. So that stuff just kind of went over here. The Warner Brothers Constantine. It's a awesome chunky box set here. Let's see, Second Sight stuff. Then we have our Vinegar Syndrome. And with the Vinegar Syndrome stuff, this is one I talk about all the time, but I absolutely love it. But then this one right here. Drop Dead Fred is one that I recommend from my childhood. There's nostalgia here, but man, I just absolutely love this movie. Carrie Fisher's in it. Let's see. Freeways, another one I remember watching all the time as a kid. And then we have our cinematograph stuff over here. Our VSU stuff. Prophecy is a new one to the collection, and this is the first time I actually watched it. And so I haven't watched the other two, but the first one I did watch, absolutely enjoyed it. And I love this box set, and I love the way it's split down the diagonal there. And then here's the beginning of my Imprint collection. And so we have some hidden gems in here, things I've talked about before. But, I just absolutely love Imprint. The Odd Couple. I love this box set. It comes with a couple episodes of the TV show and the original first two movies. It's something that, man, I love to revisit that. The Walter Hill box set is super awesome as well. Real thick. I think you got 5 movies in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 movies in that one. Some fantastic films there. And then moving on down here, we've got some Aero Academy stuff here. This Ray Harryhausen one is great. So if you are a fan, I would definitely check that out. And then we have the Aero Video standard editions. You know, you can't go wrong with Big Trouble in Little China. I guess I have 2 copies of the Burbs. And so this one here is Region B Blu-ray. I might have to pass that along. I don't need 2 copies on Blu-ray, but maybe I'll keep my Aero Video. I do have Desperado. I thought this was going to be in a big chunky box set, but it came in this steelbook. So it's in a protector, Desperado on 4K. If you have not seen House, this is another one from my childhood. Dark comedy, super fun. Love this one. And George Wendt is fantastic in this film. Society's another underrated film. You know, huge in the horror hound community, I guess, but yeah, it's one that I absolutely love it. Then down here we have the Vestron Video Collection. Let's see, I don't know why Chopping Mall's up here, but I recommend on Chopping Mall. And then this one here, Sundown at the Vampire Retreat, starring, got a big cast here. David Carradine, Maxwell Caulfield, Morgan Brittany, Bruce Campbell, Jim Meltzer, John Ireland. That's just a great vampire flick right there. Another comedy. Blackenstein for blaxploitation films. I don't think you can go wrong with this one. And then same thing with Blackula. Again, blaxploitation, I just don't think you can go wrong with that. Then here I have the Indicator collection, and I have some hidden gems in here as well. A lot of Ray Harryhausen stuff. And this one here, 13 Ghosts. This is the original 13 Ghosts. Now there's a remake done in the 90s with Matthew Lillard, and I think that's fine, but this one here is fun. I like this story a lot better. Richard Pryor, Gene Wilder, love those movies. And then I have just some box sets that I had no other place for. Rush Hour, Indiana Jones, Lethal Weapon, Bad Boys 1 and 2. I got the Friends 4K box set, Karate Kid, Back to the Future, Ocean's 11, 12 and 13, the Police Academy stuff, the Mario Bros. Big box set from Umbrella. I got my Umbrella stuff down here. Let's see, more Japanese DVDs. This is actually a Blu-ray, but it's in a DVD size. Love this movie, Black Swan. Got this old Scarface. That's why it's hard to see down there. It's all black. This old Scarface DVD box set. And I know we're getting another one in 4K, but I don't think it's as good as this set here. Down there's my Frank Capra box set. Some random horror films down there. And as we go through the rest of the room, we have the entertainment center. We have a 27-inch Sony TV with all of this gear connected to it, DVD players, VCRs, like a 100-disc CD changer, which I know most people don't care about that anymore, but I love it. I love old tech. And, you know, I've got my Beetlejuice popcorn bucket display. And I have the remote monkey. Absolutely love the remote monkey. It holds anything, I guess. I think it's designed for video game controllers, but I use it to hold my remote. Got my lava lamp. More pictures up here. Vampirella. Absolutely love this stuff. And then my all-time favorite, you have King Kong. And so this one here with Fay Ray. Oh man, I just don't think you can go wrong. Here is the setup. Back there I have all my laser discs and some of my vinyl. And there's the desk that's kind of in the way, but like I said, when we're moving, all the stuff's going to get switched up. And here's my desk. Here's where I work at. More lights than I thought I ever needed, but I need more lights. And then I have this old black and white television that I have hooked up to the VCR, so while I'm working at the desk I can watch movies in old black and white. And then that's it. That was the room tour. Oh, and then I don't think I showed this stuff off here. So unfortunately, bad wire management. That's the only place I can get the Wi-Fi router to work well throughout the house. We have some old toys up here. Wolfman. I'd like to get the creature from the Black Lagoon, some Spawn stuff, and then we did this project. I did a video on it where we did the steelbook, magnetized it, put it in a shadow box, felt lined, and Howard the Duck is one of my all-time favorites. You can't go wrong with Howard the Duck. And over here, the back of the door. Oh, we're gonna need the light. Over here, the back of the door, we have Elvira autograph photo. Jaws, even though it's not one of my favorites, it's still a good movie and I recognize it. I love it. It's a great summertime watch. I have the movie poster framed. I also have the shower curtain. And then this down here, I love gorillas. So this is a Frank Frazetta picture. Oh, I don't think you'll be able to see it, but it's too dark. Love that picture. And then as we go through back over here, so we have the Sony Blu-ray player, an old Sony VCR with the flip down. Absolutely love this thing. We have the 5-disc Integra DVD changer, the 100-disc Pioneer CD changer, the Pioneer DVD/Laserdisc player. We are rocking the PlayStation 1 and an old Pioneer SC72. And I say old, but as far as technology goes, it's old, but I wouldn't say it's that old. It came out just before Atmos came out, so it has height speakers. It has a lot of the great sound stuff. It's a phenomenal system, and I don't think it was the flagship unit, but it was definitely on the higher end. And I've had that for quite a long time, and a great secondary stereo. We're going to head downstairs and end up in, I guess, my Criterion closet. I have a movie closet downstairs, and it's lined with shelves of movies, and it's a mini Criterion closet, I guess, and that's where I keep all my studio releases, my 4Ks, extra VHS, stuff that just, we enjoy watching on a regular basis, and that's all downstairs, so I'll meet you down there. Okay, so as I tried to film this inside the closet, it was difficult to bring the light in, hold the camera, turn it around, and pull stuff out and show it off. And then once we get to Colorado, I'm going to do an entire complete collection, so I will be showing off every single thing I have. It was difficult to do it in this room. This side here is where I keep all of the action stuff, and then followed by all the dramas and the crime. For the most part, all the A's are together, the B's are together, and then I have it mixed up by genre. This entire back wall is where I have like the family movies, the Disney stuff, TV shows are always on the bottom shelves, and then this wall right here is where I keep all the 4K movies, and then followed by the horror underneath that. You're going to want to check out this video right here for more movie recommendations. Remember to watch a movie today, and I'll catch you guys next time.